This is like my second attempt, I believe, at going live. Um, I'm just going to go right into it. Um, Anytime anyone comes, they can always watch and listen. If you have any questions to ask, I would, I'll be happy to respond to whatever questions that we have, concerning what I'm going to be talking about. Now, I've been listening to women or stories of women who have been through a lot of abuse, battery, um, violence. Battery and violence are the same thing, really, but abuse generally. And the fact that there are celebrities that go through the same thing, they have the same issues. It happens to them as well. And but I don't think that's the issue because it could be anybody. Those who know them, they would know this person is going through abuse. And for some strange reasons, they will complain. I mean, you look at them, especially when the abuse is physical. You look at them and you're like, like, this is just horrendous. Like, when we were being flogged as children, I don't recall anyone looking like this, you know? So even if you're, hi, hello, the nature, um, I don't really know what you mean by little camera down. If you can explain, I'm a little new to this, so pardon me. Gan Gadha Moti. Hi, Aaron B. Hey, hello. Welcome. So, I'm just, I was just talking about women and abuse. Um, Nigeria. Aaron B is asking where in Africa am I? Nigeria at the moment. Yeah. Um, so we're talking about women in abuse. Phantom, hey, welcome. Thank you for joining. Ota said, oh, I love Nigeria. Aaron B from England. Thank you for joining in. So, we're talking about women in abuse and the lies or the secrets that bind. Um, Hello from Indonesia. Hi, hello, welcome. Is Nigeria safe? Well, it's a mix of everything, but it's relatively safe. We thank God. um, there can be skirmishes here and there, but at this point, where exactly doesn't have a bit of skirmishes everywhere. So, but yeah, it's relatively safe. Otha said he's from the Atlantic Ocean. Hmm. Okay, so we're talking about women in abuse. And of course, because I'm going to be focusing on women a lot, I'll be talking about men too as well, because men do face abuse. Before somebody says, oh, men also face abuse, that's true. That is very, very true. we're not going to do gymnastics, or is it, what we call it now, competition on that one. We're not competing here. We have issues to sort out. Now, you see women battered, even men, going through a lot. And a lot of times they would tell you these things, and you're like, so why are you still there? You know? And then they begin to tell you all kinds of things. Well, it's this, is that. You can't really pinpoint what, I mean, nobody has a good reason to stay in abuse. Let's even start with that. No one has a good reason to stay there. And that's why no matter the reason they give, it's never good enough. And they don't even give you a reason, you know. Then you talk about the power of choices, because when a person chooses to stay in abuse, it becomes extremely difficult to pull them out. It becomes extremely difficult to pull them out. Like, you try and get them out, they get back in. Try, like, save of tying them down. It's just, they just keep, they just keep. Okay, I was just checking something here. Okay. Save of tying them down, they just keep, they just keep going back, keep going back, keep going back. And you're just like, what exactly is there? Some people have, although I don't believe that, but some people have hinted that maybe the intimacy, the physical intimacy is what is drawing them back. And I'm thinking in my head, like, why that can be with anybody? Why must it be this person, especially? Like, what exactly is enjoyable about that with somebody that is mistreating you, you know? It's a rhetorical question. Really. But then I was just thinking about that this afternoon, and well, afternoon where I'm at. And what occurred to me was that a lot of times, when people get defensive of their abusers, they'd be like, oh, you don't know this person as I do, and all of that. You always notice that they never really tell you exactly what it is about this person that keeps them there. A lot of times, this person has been nice to them once. Usually, you see that in somebody who, you know, somebody who just has self-esteem issues, never has people stand up for them. They were starved of love. They were starved of care. They didn't feel important. And this person just comes up and just stands up for them. Maybe they got into trouble, or people harassed them, and this person just came up and just rescued them or defended them. And because that is the first time they ever had that kind of experience, what happens is that a lot of them now have this, shall we say, hero worship or savior complex towards this person. And they just feel like this person can do no wrong. This person can do no wrong. And so they just stick with this person, and they feel like they owe this person. Usually, based on what I just said right now, those who stay in abuse, those who keep them there, those who refuse to let them go, those who refuse to let go, those who keep going back, oftentimes you notice that there's a secret, or there are secrets between them. There's secret between them. They can always threaten that, oh, they're going to leave, I'm going to leave this, that. And one of them will just say something. One of them will just say something that is like a code word. And the next thing you know, they're like, oh, who said anything about going their separate ways? that we didn't really mean that. It was just a joke. No, the account was hacked. That's another word. Like they never really meant it. And you are thinking, you mean you guys are getting back together, or you mean you are getting back together with that person? There is a secret binding. They feel like they owe each other. Someone thinks something is owed to them. The other person thinks they owe that person. And usually the person who thinks they owe that person, the other person, is oftentimes the victim. And they feel like they have done something. It's that gaslighting thing, the situation where somebody tells you, look, if not for this, that, the other that happened, you know, I would have been able to do this, the second and the third, so you owe me. And that person is feeling guilty. There's also that part. Guilt is also one of the things that tie people, the lies that tie people in bad relationships. It could be familial, it could be romantic. Well, there's nothing romantic about abuse anyway. It could be familial, somebody who is a family. It could be somebody who is, you know, a friend, someone that is considered a friend. It could be somebody else who just, you know, okay, I just want to check something here. Okay, it could be somebody who just feels like just stumbled into their life one somehow or the other, an acquaintance, and it seems like that person has control over them, right? Like they have control over them. It's so odd, and you're like, what does this person have? And the worst part of it is that they're not talking, right? They're not talking, they're not speaking about what is going on. I'll just pause this video here and start another live. I just want to check to make sure that this thing is recording. So I'm going to start another live soon. So please bear with me and then I'll continue. Thank you for joining. Okay. I don't even know. How does one do this? So let me just keep talking while I figure out how to, handle this one. Okay, let me just continue. I said I was going to so wow. Okay, start a poll, start a Q&A. I don't know if that's something I want to do. Honestly. I'm seeing a share button here, but I can't quite figure out, where to share that, if anything. But I suppose it's going live. So maybe that's why there is no a share button. I don't know. Anyway, please pardon me. I'm a little nervous, so I've not done a live before. I just said let me try today. All right, so if you're just joining in, I'm talking about lies that bind women, and this happens to men and women too in abusive situations. It could be a family, it could be somebody that you care about. You have a sexual attraction with them and you feel like you're in a relationship with them, but there's something hidden. There's something they hold over you. There's a power they have over you. It might be guilt. Sometimes it's guilt, where, maybe you did something to them or they accused you of doing something to them. And they are now like, you owe me. You need to stay with me. You owe me, that sort of thing. And then guilt just overwhelms that person and they just stay in there. You understand? They just stay there. It's odd. Now, this happens mostly to people that don't tell themselves the truth. And that is why honesty is always the best policy and will always be the best policy. That's just the truth. If you're not honest with yourself, you don't make it a habit of being honest, it will be easy for anyone to enslave you in guilt. It will be easy for people to enslave you in, I don't know, enslave you in guilt, enslave you in secrets, enslave you in lies. You understand? A lot of times you have to sit down and think and look at yourself. Why am I here? What is my purpose for being here? You know, what really happened? And sometimes, even if you owe somebody, how about loving yourself? You understand? When a person doesn't love themselves, sometimes it also makes it easy for other people to manipulate them with guilt. To say, oh, I saved your life at some point. I did this for you. I did that for you. Sometimes it's even something scandalous, maybe something that is illegal. And they feel like because this person saved their hide, literally, or put themselves on the line to save them, they are now manipulated into paying an eternal debt to this person. They are manipulated into paying an eternal debt to this person. And so whatever that person does to them, whatever he says to them, they just stay there and they just keep taking it. While the rest of us will be out there frustrated, like, get out, get out. You know, you deserve better, you deserve better. But how do you tell somebody they deserve better when they have been surrounded? They are in a fortress of lies. Do you understand? It's like trying to save Rapunzel. That's how that is. It's like trying to save Rapunzel. How do you save a Rapunzel when she has been trapped in a castle or a tower of lies, right? What happens if her hair gets cut off? Assuming you can even use her hair to get to her and all of that. Like, it's just like Rapunzel. You know, when people say things like fairy tales are not real, I don't understand that at all. Fairy tales are very, very real. They're very real. Fairy tales are real. You understand? Like, they depict, when you look at it, the way it is, like, you can see the how it describes life itself. You know, sometimes you see people and you're like, wow, this is, and it just reminds you of something you've watched. Now, look, I've just been able to link what I'm talking about to Rapunzel. She was surrounded by lies. She was told lies all her life. But one day, someone busted in on that, and she was able to come out, to see the world, to look outside of what she has been conditioned to stay in. It's the same thing. Sometimes you just have to break free from the norm. And there's also a factor of fear that keeps people in abusive relationships. There's a factor of fear where they're afraid to tell themselves the truth, where they're afraid to venture out of what they know. They're afraid of that. They're afraid of venturing out. They're afraid of, you know, getting out of the familiar. Some people are stuck with the familiar. Some people might even, you know, spend the rest of their life in the familiar. Contrary to what a lot of people think, change, people don't like change. The vast majority, they don't like change, right? The vast majority does not like change. Give me a moment. Right. Like I said, I think I want to try and end this life. This, not end this life, of course. The life will not end in Jesus' name. To conclude this, then I'll come back and do a part 2 of this. Thank you. Please join me as I start another life. Right?